Do you know how an open architecture promotes interoperability between systems? In today's video, I'm gonna show you how important it is and how this should be part of your digital transformation strategy. Therefore, part of your technical specification as a minimal technical requirements for your IIoT projects.
Tuponex, Smart Factory Solutions.
My name is Ricardo Santos. I'm the Industry 4.0 facilitator, where I turn very technical and complex subjects into very simplified words where anybody can understand. So let me show you. An open architecture that promotes interoperability between systems. Very different than those proprietary systems that are very segregated and only promotes their partners with their solutions. Okay, so characteristics, this is vendor agnostic, so you can install any vendor software or hardware, doesn't matter, as long as it communicates between themselves. Okay, very different than having a vendor lock-in, where you are locked in to that vendor with their proprietary systems and those proprietary protocols. That promotes innovation. So now we are having people compete on promoting new things, on inventing new things and innovating, okay? Very different than limited flexibility. I deliver what I have to deliver to you and then you deal with it, okay? So this creates what's called a unified ecosystem, all right? So now you have an ecosystem where multiple vendors and multiple solutions can connect to it. Very different than those isolated systems that promotes data silos. That should be part of your digital transformation strategy, okay? That should be driven by your digital transformation strategy, okay? So if you have a sailboat without a compass, you don't get to your final destination. So the same thing. So your digital transformation strategy drive this open architecture and promote interoperability. All right, very different than the market push. So market push, where all your vendors tell you what they have available, and then you have to adapt your strategy based on what your vendors are offering you. You shouldn't do that, all right? So you should tell your vendors your technical specification and how they should connect to your unified ecosystem. Here you can use any hardware and software that promotes interoperability, that talks this common protocol, okay? Very different than those devices that are not compatible, are only compatible with their proprietary software, with their proprietary hardware, and promote only their stuff with their vendors, with their partners, okay? So this is future-proof, all right? So now you're installing something today that can be iterated, that can be added on, okay? And in the future, you are ready to add more in scale, all right? Very different than being stagnation, than being stagnant on that solution, all right? With limited flexibility, with only the things that they provide. Now you are relying on them. Now they can create a monopoly. They can raise the prices to whatever they want, and you have to pay because you're locked in, all right? So by the end of it, you have integration, okay? You have a system, you have an ecosystem that is integrated, okay? Very different than you have segregated silos with segregated systems, okay? So this is an overview of an open architecture and what we're gonna talk about here today. If you like what you've heard so far, don't forget to leave it a like to help me reach more people. If you are promoting this and you're influencing others and you have those people that you want them to know about this open architecture, don't forget to share this video with them. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow me on LinkedIn for many more content that is coming. So, are you ready to break those handcuffs and be free of that proprietary vendor, of that vendor locked in, and join the open architecture that promotes interoperability, where all the devices can connect to, where you can contextualize, aggregate, and normalize all your data in a unified ecosystem? If so, there are three main protocols that you should know about. First one, down there on the sensor level, I/O link, you have the true digital data, all right? So no more 4 to 20, 0 to 10 volts scaling, all right? You get the true digital data. Many of those gateways talk MQTT straight to your data concentrator. Protocol number 2, OPC UA, more specifically the CS, the company specification, where you can have interoperability between machines, between lines, down there in your production floor, from the edge down. Number 3, or 3A, MQTT. Now you're talking about your unified ecosystem. Now you're talking about your data space. You're talking about your unified architecture framework. You're talking about your UNS, Unified Namespace. From there, you have an MQTT defined by JSON format. Now, 3B, we can talk about Spark Plug B. That's how you promote interoperability between data spaces, between unified namespace. Now you have your plan A, plan B, talking to your enterprise talking to your vendor. Now you're talking about a digital supply chain where you can talk to your vendors, your suppliers, your clients. Now you promote interoperability, not with your enterprise, but also within your whole digital supply chain. And now, time for recap. But first, pro tip, where you should standardize your data format with standard data models and type definitions. That's how you truly promote the interoperability. So let's check it out. What did we talk about today? How an open architecture promotes interoperability as opposed as the proprietary vendors, the proprietary solutions. How that promotes vendor agnostic, okay? So now you are free of any vendor specific, okay? You are free to choose as opposed to be vendor locked in. Now you have to choose their equipment with their hardware and their software. How that promotes innovation. So now you have more pieces that are competing with each other and promoting innovation, and you can interchange without interrupting your operations, okay? As opposed as you having the limited flexibility, those legacy systems that are gonna be running for years with nothing new. All right, so how you can create a unified ecosystem, okay? So now a single source of truth. Now you can have a centralized data exchange, as opposed as those isolated systems, those data silos that don't talk to each other. All right, how that should be part of your digital strategies, how your digital strategy should drive an open architecture and should drive your IoT projects. So now your suppliers adapt to your digital strategy and not your digital strategy adapt to whatever is available in the market through a market push, okay, where they push to you whatever they have available. All right. So now you can connect any hardware that is compatible as opposed to their compatible, those proprietary hardwares and softwares that only communicates to their softwares and their partners. All right. How that's future proof, where you can interchange, you can swap, that you're building the foundation for the future, as opposed as the stagnation and being stagnant to whatever they have with limited flexibility. All right, how by the end of the day what you ended up with is integration. So you have an integrated system, okay, with a unified ecosystem, as opposed as those segregated silos, those data islands. And this is how we end this video in our first part of the series Fundamentals, with my own interpretation of the minimum technical requirements for your unified namespace, for your unified ecosystem, for your unified architecture framework. This is my own interpretation of it within these 5 videos. But that's not all. On the contrary, this was just the beginning, just the foundation for you to follow the upcoming content in a much higher level. So don't forget to enable the notifications to receive notifications on the new videos that are upcoming. My name is Ricardo Santos with Tupanix Smart Factory Solutions. I hope you liked, and I see you on the next videos. Bye!
Tupanix. Smart Factory Solutions.